I am a Los Angeles Dodgers baseball fan. And as such, high expectations for the season coming in. We had the highest payroll in Major League Baseball, over $200 million on the payroll. And we had the highest paid player in Major League Baseball, Clayton Kershaw, pitcher for the Dodgers. Such high expectations for the season. Going into the spring, we were so excited, and as it turns out, we did win the National League West and made it to the playoffs. However, once we got to the playoffs, we lost 3-2 to the New York Mets. The New York Mets, not the highest paid team in Major League Baseball. In fact, they're clear down in the middle of the pack. So where did it go wrong? Highest paid team, highest paid players. It should translate into best performance on the field. Looking at it in terms of education, in terms of base salary, average base salary, the state of New York has the highest paid teachers in the country. One would think, under that logic, that New York would be the top-ranked educational state in the country, when in fact they rank number 34, according to the Washington Post. In fact, if you look at the overall rankings, there are only a handful of the top 10 highest-paid states that also rank highest in education. Some of your lowest-paid states, North Dakota, Colorado, they fall towards the bottom in pay, but up to the top in school rank. Some of your highest paid, Massachusetts obviously is number 1, but you've got other states like New York is in the middle, California ranks 43rd, and they are in the top 4 in teacher pay. Now, I'm not so naive to think that there are not other factors that come into play, but here's the point I want to make. Here's a quote by Richard Elmore. To improve student learning, you do not change the structure, you change the instructional practices of teachers. The schools that seem to do best are those that have a clear idea of what kind of instructional practice they wish to produce, and then design a structure to go with it. And Harry Wong had this to say: it's not rocket science. The better the teacher teaches, the better the student learns. Going back to baseball, in terms of your top payroll, the top 5 teams, only one of them made the playoffs. The Dodgers made the playoffs, but as I noted before, very sadly they lost. Looking at the other teams that did make the playoffs, Houston Astros, bottom of the list. Chicago Cubs, towards the bottom. Kansas City Royals, the bottom. New York Mets, the bottom. Cardinals, in the middle of the pack. Only by the time you get to the Blue Jays do you have the playoff teams that are in the upper part of the pay scale. So the point I'm trying to make is this. According to a report done in the 1980s, so well over 20 years ago, effective teachers, effective schools had these things in common. The teachers had high expectations for student learning, provided clear and focused instruction, closely monitored student learning, retaught using alternative strategies when the kids didn't learn. They used incentives, rewards to promote learning, were highly efficient in classroom routines, set and enforced high standards for behavior, and maintained excellent personal interactions with their students. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the manager of the Chicago Cubs, Joe Maddon, has taken a team that really has done nothing for the past century and has them within one playoff series win of the World Series. As a manager of the Cubs, Joe Maddon does not have the quote-unquote best players in Major League Baseball. He has some that are high paid, some that are low paid, some that are good, some that are not so good. But what Joe Maddon has been able to do with his players He has high expectations, clear and focused instruction, closely monitoring the player progress, alternative strategies when things aren't going well, incentives and rewards, highly efficient routines in the clubhouse, high standards, and excellent personal interaction with his students. It's not about the money that he makes. It's not about the money that his players make. It's not about their abilities. It's about what he can do when he works with them to make them the best players possible. As teachers, it's not necessarily about the money that we make. It's not throwing more money at education for more fancy toys or more programs. It's about the classroom teacher. It's about those at the classroom level that can get in there and change their practice and do the best with the kids that they have.